if you want to be a pure running back. This offensive line has improved. Let's hope Joe Bitonio can stay healthy alongside Joe Thomas, JT Crowder. And then you got the boy from Cincinnati, Router. So the Browns is on an up-and-coming team this year. People better watch out for them. I mean, I'm not saying this year, but in the years to come, Hugh Jackson has a plan. And his plan is to get this team better each and every day, and that's what he's doing. Quarterback battle is interesting. And don't forget Brock Osweiler. You still got him in the mix. So the Browns can look up, and they got a bright future ahead of them. When you look on the defensive side of the ball, you got Myles Garrett, who's coming off a foot sprain, but they said that's not too serious. Then you got Agba. Then you got Kristen Kersey. You got Jamie Collins. Then you got Danny Shelton. Then you got both of the rookies, Brantley and the guy from Charlotte. I can't think of his name. The Browns might have a great rotation defensive line playing a 4-3. They're going to have a lot of bodies that can rotate. So they're going to be more fresher this year. And with a 4-3, you depend on your front four more than your linebacker. So Greg Williams will have his team ready. And then the secondary might be a concern, but I do like the signing of Jason McCourty. I mean, he's a great, solid cornerback veteran. Been through it all. Played all 7 seasons in Tennessee. Went to the Pro Bowl twice. I do think that it's a make-or-break year for Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden have to show us the Joe Hayden that we knew from 2 and 3 years ago, where he was a Pro Bowl Joe, and he was a shutdown Joe Hayden. So I think if we can get the old Joe back with McCourty over there on the other side, then you have Jamar Taylor, and the Browns looking okay, but they looking much better in the secondary. Then you have Jabril Peppers, and you have to find a strong safety. So the secondary kind of iffy, but I think with Greg Williams, he's going to have that team ready. And he's going to have that team chasing and flying like flies to the ball. You're going to see a lot more blitzing this year than you've seen in years ever in the National Football League with the Cleveland Browns, because that was what was wrong with the Browns in years. They can't get to the quarterback, and the quarterback got so much time to throw the ball that me and you can throw the ball to what the time the quarterback have against the Browns. But with Greg Williams, it's going to be so much blitzing, and it's not going to be just blitzing with the 4 linemen. It's going to be everybody blitzing. You're not going to know what's coming, and his defense has always been a top 10 defense. If you go back and look at it, the Saints, you go back and look at the Rams. Greg Williams was always top 10 defense. So that's what made me build a confidence in his defense, because of Greg Williams. Because of his culture, his tough, hard-nosed, feisty, greedy, like a pit bull defense. Ain't gonna let you get nothing. And that's what I love about Greg Williams. He's a great defensive coordinator. That was a great hire by the Cleveland Browns. Of getting some toughness and getting some pride for this defense, and take some dignity and take some aggressiveness to this defense, and you're going to see a better Browns defense. Maybe middle of the pack, maybe top 10, if they can get it together in that back end. That back end got to prove to me, but the Browns front 7, I got a lot of faith in, and it's not exciting, but I think it's just good, and a solid front 7. Now, with the back end, it's kind of shaky, but I got faith in this organization. And get credit to Shashi Brown and Paul DeBadou and Andrew Berry. They stick to their plan, and they didn't fold. So let's hope that this plan is a great plan, and it come together on the field and not on the paper. So, and Myles Garrett, he got a foot injury, but they say it's no concern, Bruce Smith had an interesting topic. He said he's coming off the ball too slow, so I'm pretty sure he's going to work on that. But that guy's fast. He can get to the quarterback. He's athletic. Alba can do the same thing. And even Danny Shelton, people keep forgetting about the year that he had a great year bouncing back from his rookie season. His rookie season, he didn't have a good year. So he had a great year this year. So the Browns' defense is going to be much improved. Trust and believe me, it will be much, much improved. Now we're going to get into the AFC East preview. We already did the Buffalo Bills for y'all. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Miami Dolphins, about their draft picks and their free agency. The Miami Dolphins draft picks, they drafted Charles Harris, the defensive end out of Missouri. They say, Harris, he's a solid player. He's very fast. He's very athletic. He can get to the quarterback. And most importantly, they lacked a lot of depth in a front four with a lot of pieces last year. So it's just only going to add to this front four. And they actually going to a 4-3 this year too. And guys like Cameron Wake, it's going to make a better fit for the Miami Dolphins. And so I think that was a great pick by the Dolphins, Charles Harris. He also can play some outside linebacker. And so that the Dolphins went for a need, and they got a solid player, even though they passed on Reuben Foster, the linebacker out of Alabama, who had a lot of problems off the field this year. But I think Charles Harris is a great pick. So, and I think he got a chance to really make a difference in that front four with him and Hadamik Asu and Cameron Wade. That's going to be a nice front four. So I think that was a great pick by Miami. Their second round pick was the pick that I love, Naquan McMillan, the linebacker out of Ohio State, down the road, 71, 2 hours from here. And he's a tackling machine, and that's what Miami wanted it. He's very athletic, and with him and Kinko Alonso, McMillan, he's a 3-down guy. You can see in Ohio State, he was everywhere. He's a tackling machine. So that was another excellent pickup for the Dolphins, and it was a need for the Dolphins that was lacking there. And they going to have a solid player. And I watched him play for a lot of years with the Buckeyes. And Adam Grace, you getting a great, great player and a great, great young man who's willing to come in and work hard and be the best linebacker you can be. I wish the Browns would have got him. I mean, that might be the steal. He's a tackling machine. So their third round pick was another steal, Cordero Tankerly. He was a cornerback out of Clemson, and he was a steal because last year coming out before he got injured, they said he was a first or second round pick. So the Dolphins has got another steal in that in that loaded secondary, but you can't never get too many cornerbacks and safeties. So I like the move. He has some physical faults though, but at the end of the day, I think he's a very good cornerback, and I just think it's a great solid pick for him. He's got great ball control, and he can make a lot of plays in the secondary on the island by himself. You can see in Clemson, he has some great years in Clemson. So it was a great pick. It was a great pick for him. Their third round pick, then their fifth round pick was Isaiah Eisner. He was an offensive tackle. He was offensive guard from Utah. Their fifth round pick was Devin DeCouches. He was a defensive tackle from LSU. They another fifth round pick. They had a lot of fifth round pick. Was Nate Gary from Nebraska. Their 6th-round pick was Vincent Taylor, defensive tackle from Oklahoma. And their 7th pick was Isaiah Ford, wide receiver. He was another steal in there. He led the ACC in yards per catch. He led the ACC in yards, and he had a great senior season. So he has a chance to make the team. So that's not actually bad for them. And so Miami, I really think they went for need in this draft, and they came up and got what they wanted because they mostly went all defense. And that's what you have to do. I think Adam Grace, he's going to be a great coach for them in the near future. As you can see, he's shown what he can do in Denver as being an offensive coordinator. So I think they're in a great position. Now we're going to look at some free agents they got this year. Not that many. We're going to talk about their free agent signings, and they got some great free agent signings this year, and they went defensive. They went defense again. So let's take a look at they free agency moves. We're gonna talk about Lawrence Timmons. He was the linebacker from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was a great linebacker. He only missed 2 games in 9 seasons. So he gives them a lot. He gives them a lot of depth in that front line, and he had over 100 tackles in his 12 seasons, and he can get to the quarterback. His versatility make him a great fit, and he's a run-stopping thumper. He loved to get in there and make plays. And that's what the Miami Dolphins, that was one of their needs coming in to this offseason. And he might not be the most athletic linebacker, but he's a star linebacker, and that's what Miami was looking for. And you could pair him up with Kinko Alonso. Man, the Dolphins is just one linebacker away from having one of the best linebacking corps in football. So they did a great job in free agency. Then they picked up Kenny Stills, what they re-signed him. And they re-signed him to 4 years, $32 million. And he just Miami. He also wanted to stay in Miami, but his thing is that he's only 24 years of age. And in the 2 years combined, he only caught 69 passes for 1,166 yards. And he topped 1,000 yard. He never topped a 1,000-yard season. Last year, his first time he had 5 touchdowns in the season. So that's a solid re-signing. I just think when you already got players that's in your system, it's best to re-sign them because they know what's going on. So I think that was an okay signing. It's another target for Ryan Tannehill, but this is my favorite pick, Rashard Jones. They got him from Philadelphia. He signed a 4-year extension, $60 million. And in 2015, if y'all all remember, he could have easily been the Defensive Player of the Year. In 2015, he had 135 tackles with 2 sacks and a forced fumble. He had 5 interceptions and he scored twice. Man, Jones, he is tremendous both against the pass and the run. He's only 29 years old. And he still got a lot in his tank. He still got a lot left in his tank. And so, in the final 10 games of the season last year,